another win for the Pokes here in this one as they improve 18-3 overall. Sefton Douglas, and stepping in here is it Conrad Hendrickson at 125?
I think it's Sebastian Degennaro.
It is Sebastian Degennaro right there on your screen, 8-2 this year. And Sefton Douglas 7-12. So Hendrickson will miss this opportunity to compete against Douglas. Degennaro, with a pretty good record, will step right in there. The freshman from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Then off we go at 125.
Degennaro in on a shot quickly. Douglas having to play, in a position where he's just holding on now, looking at the ref, looking like he's just waiting for a stalemate at this point. Degennaro setting the tone early at 125 pounds, making the best of his opportunity.
He certainly is. Degennaro did not compete on Friday against Missouri. Hendrickson did. And Hendrickson took that victory over another ranked opponent, Sam Lewis, beat him 3-1. On the flip side, Sefton Douglas defeated Nick Valdez by decision 3-0.
Degennaro gets himself into a great shot opportunity, head outside, starts to chase the corner. This is something you see quite a bit with guys who are very flexible, is putting themselves in positions that looks like it hurts quite a bit, which is why the ref decided that the position was potentially dangerous, although I would argue that Douglas's knee was perfectly fine in the position that he put it in. Degennaro certainly on the attack more than the Cowboy.
And he's probably smelling blood in the water. These two competed against each other at the beginning of January, and Degennaro came away with a Tech Fall victory, 50-0 in that one. So Douglas,
so great opportunity for the Cowboy to kind of counter that experience that he had against the Sooner, and the Sooner looking to repeat history and just pour on as much offense as he can.
Against common opponents, Douglas is 0-4, including that loss to Degennaro earlier in January, and Degennaro with a 2-1 record against those same common opponents. The only loss was to a former Cowboy, Jorge Volk.
Again, Degennaro in a position where he has the advantage, looking to score, but Douglas making it tough on him. Might get into another potentially dangerous position here as the knee of Degennaro looks just as compromised as Douglas's did when the match was stopped earlier.
And there it is.
Degennaro awarded the takedown.
Wow.
Mark Branch confused, as is the whole crowd here.
Doesn't look like he cleared.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that was called Eiler. Maybe, I'm not seeing exactly what the referee saw. Regardless, Degennaro goes up 3-0 with the takedown. 30 seconds left in the first period, and now has Douglas flat on his belly.
Yeah, regardless of the call, Degennaro is going to take advantage of this and try to get his team back in this duel. As we mentioned, he already has a Tech Fall victory over Douglas this season. Happened at the beginning of January.
So fresh on the mind is this match, and likely both of these competitors minded. And maybe we see a little preview as to the offensive threat that Degennaro poses on top as he threatens that roll-through tilt to close out the first period. Unable to get any points. Time ran out, but here we are in the same exact position. Look to Degennaro to get back to that 2-on-1 roll-through tilt position.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
Douglas obviously aware of that threat and is going to do his best to try to keep himself out of a dangerous position by fighting those hands. Again, tough position to be in is Douglas. as he's bellied out here in the second period, minute and a half left. Gosh, the pressure from that tight-waisted Degennaro and consistently on his toes.
Degennaro very heavy on top right now. And finally Douglas able to sit out, but not for long.
No, certainly not. And again, that tight waist is deep, and it's so deep that he's looking like he's, wanting to break his opponent over, and encourages Douglas's hands to come back and fight him, which I'd imagine he's waiting for as a trap to get back to that 2-on-1 roll-through position that he looks fairly comfortable in.
Plenty of time for him to work with. 45 seconds remaining here in the second. Douglas fighting tooth and nail right now to just stay out of the compromising position as he's got him in an armbar.
And Degennaro is, my goodness, what a performance that he's put on in the second period so far on top. Not a lot of points to show for it, except for right now as he's able to find that tilt and get some points for his efforts.
Got 3.
Improves his score 6-0. And riding time's got to be around, got to be well over 2 minutes now. And essentially 7-point lead for the Sooner. Douglas, I believe Douglas gets choice, but let's see. My memory is failing me, Carlin.
It is Douglas's choice, and it's the bottom, surprisingly.
Yeah, he if not an opportunity to learn from your position, maybe it's a, let's see if you can do it again. Maybe I need my escape point strategy from Douglas. Tough ask, as Degennaro has proven tough on top.
And Douglas fared well, at least in the first period when they were both on their feet. Things have gone downhill, or at least taken a turn the minute it went to the mat, and Degennaro has just been dominating since. Riding time is locked up.
He certainly has put on a performance on top. Handful of, turn attempts, one successful. Able to get the takedown early from a scramble that he stayed persistent on. Now it looks like he's going to get maybe another stall warning or call on bottom.
And this pushes it into major territory now. With 60 seconds remaining in the period.
Again, Douglas has been unable to improve his position from his stomach with the pressure that Degennaro has put on top. Taking arms away, going tight waist, staying heavy with his hips. There's a lot to deal with, Carlin.
Yeah, and it's Degennaro who now is thinking more than just the major. He's able to pick up a tech here, as those are the swipes, maybe even a pin. Douglas fighting.
Degennaro definitely going to come away from this exchange with a full set of near fall points is what it looks like. I'm not sure. 3-point near fall. Goes up 11-0 with just over 10 seconds left in the third.
Degennaro trying to bait the referee into saying, hey, this should be another stall. As he looks at the clock. And that's the end of this one. As Sebastian Degennaro steps in and picks up his 9th win of the year.